cavities of the void.
So the name of this is called Alien Earth, right? Season 1. On season 1, it says Neverland. Season 1, episode 1. Y'all gotta check this out, cause it's deep decoded. Let's go. Now mind you, the year that's missing is 65 years. Okay? Now it's 2120, I believe, when it said, yeah, it's 2120 is the year. Now mind you, this is Alien Earth. It's telling you that Earth is populated pretty much by aliens that will talk, or the people on Earth are of Asian origins, cold talking. And it's saying the distance to Earth is 805 million miles. That 805 is 13 in capsules. It's likened to a star. You'll notice 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Count around. I believe it's 8 there. And notice it says 805 with 8. You see? Now, it's interesting because what we're going to find out about these 8 that waken from this capsule. 805 million miles away from Earth. I can't tell you yet. It seemed to be a 7 in total. But out of all of them that have a necklace, he's the only one that have a necklace of a horse. And we know this horse identified with being a root. And you see these triangles that's around him. See? Everything placed in perfect order for a reason. Yeah, I stand to be corrected. It's 7 in a star formation. Now, these 7, I can't tell you, because I got to teach you along the way. Let's go. And again, 7 is a holy number. It's a sacred number. So the first guy whom they show that woke up out the capsule, you'll notice he's going to say, over there, he's been staring at you with his beady little eyes, right? This is important because once they show that, they're going to show the main character that's in this series, where it's going to be a Asian guy who's actually standing over one of the capsules, staring at her with his beady little eyes. The polarities of the two, masculine and feminine, black and white, dark and light, the combination of two being the same. You see? And the reason why they show the other ones in the other capsule is to show that the 7 and 7 makes 14, because it's another 7 in the capsules who's awakening or awaken or won't awaken. Let's see. Look, then he says stares at you while you sleep, and then they show the black and white again, the darkness to light, and then behind her is the guy over there who's staring at someone in the capsule who's sleeping, which is one of the main characters. This is the reason why I'm doing this breakdown, because it's deep, it's coded, you see. And then the sister who's at the table is going to say he doesn't do that anymore. And then they show this scene of this guy who has his hand on the glass of the capsule. You see, this is important because this woman that's in there is I can't tell you, but to identify in the position in which his hands is to talk a little bit more about these things that I've been telling you and talking to you about, that Hollywood is aware. You see, now y'all hear me talk about it, but when I break it down and you see it for yourself, you understand that it's talking about the higher form of masculine and feminine in the connection of a higher form of SEX magic. You see, out of places he could have touched. He's wearing black, she's wearing gray, but it's colder for those in the know who really know. Now, he throws a joker on the card, and he said, Wayland. And he said, that's us. The dude said, right. And he say, they control North and South about those who control planet Earth, who run planet Earth. That's what he's talking to him about. And then a lady across the way, she will say Utani has Mars and Saturn. See, it goes to show you that there's different forces and networks that run and control the planet, divine forces. Here goes the giveaway. Yeah, but we're talking about the earth and who rules what. Now, you understand that the Elohim represent the group of nether gods. When it speaks about that in the biblical, when it talk about Elohim, we're talking about divine beings. It said created us in their image. That don't mean that we are gods with God powers and abilities, just saying that we was created in their image. So it's to show that a lot of us on this planet Gaia Earth, that there's forces that control things. And they coding this number 23 with the 2 over there and 3 over here. It's number 23. And it's showing the color orange, which radiates the sun. Yeah, but we're talking about the earth. Who rules what? Before this, to say there's 4 companies. They govern the entire globe. Then she gonna say, don't forget the new one, Prodigy. Now you know what a prodigy is when you research what the name Prodigy is. You see, before that it was just 3 people, but now they showing 3, 3, 3. Pertaining to this new one, this Prodigy, this code talker. See, they know a lot more than what a lot of people don't know. Now here's their giveaway of the number 14, because it's 7 on that end and 7 on this end. Remember I was telling you about that 14-point star, the 14-point star that identified with Christ. When they show in Jerusalem that 14-point star above the manger, his star. Prodigy Neverland Research Island. When it talks about the Pinky and Lil and Anu and how they grafted their genetics, and then soon afterwards they created a mankind, a kind of man from the monkeys, but they created of their genetics that ancient royal bloodline lineage, see, of mommy. But anyway, it's called Prodigy Neverland Research Island because Earth was originally a research island. Okay, now we finna get to the bread and butter. Because when they get to this Prodigy Neverland, this island, this land where the research is doing, they start off showing this girl, this bald-headed girl, who's looking at this scorpion. And we know the scorpion represents Scorpio. But the scorpion goes back to the old story of the Scorpion King, Scorpion/Queen. You see, because the polarities are male and female. But there's 3 points on the scorpion. See, they place this here for a reason. Because the tail of the scorpion represents the 3rd eye, and able to see and shoot above the heavens, pointing up. When that tail shoot up, it's deadly. It's to talk about this connection to the 2 being one and the same. Hey, this is decoded very wonderfully. She asks about the scorpion and what it is. He says it's a scorpion. She say it scares me. She said, what should we do with it? He said, what do you think we should do with it? She say, squash it. And then he say, what if it, to protect his friend the same way you trying to protect me, another scorpion bites me. Now, it gets deep because it's double talking. Remember, what was the name of that movie where that boy was trapped in the glass and everybody knew about him and what he was able to do and his abilities and XYZ, and it was Watch Me? What is it called? The True Man Show? The True Man? The True man, the man? this hidden one, but he just didn't know till at the last minute. It's cold, listen. And then she gonna say, it scares me. He gonna say, think of how the scorpion must feel. Listen. See how the scorpion must feel trapped under glass, menaced by giants. That's double talk. Cause Earth is like a glass. We represent likened to the scorpions and how the giants represents the Elohims, remember? The fallen ones represents the giants, well, the offsprings of the fallen ones, but the giants is identified with really the network, the gods. The giants who oversees over mankind, trapped in the glass. Because this trapped in the glass menaced by giants is this child who is a prodigy. Remember, they in the island, the prodigy island. Prodigy is someone who's gifted, talents and abilities. You see, she happened to be the one who is being experimented on. You see, now what is going to happen is she is part of the research, this whole new prodigy research, in which her body is dying. She has, I guess, some type of disease or issue like it's cancer. But it's cold talking to talk about how those reincarnated who once lived into a new body. This is what he's alluding to, and how the gods of these other worlds and these realms, and how this person is like trapped in the glass and they watching and observing this new nectar on this planet with authority. And then the researcher, the nurse or whoever, she's coming to get her to place her in the surgery room so they can take her soul out her body and place her into a new one. Yeah. Remember, this is alien Earth. This is what the lady said. She said, okay, my darling. Now, listen, if you haven't seen Alien Earth, it's only 2 episodes, episode 1, 2, and 3, past, present, and future. But they only stopped at 3, because it's double talk about the power of this story. She say it's time. She got the seal. She got the world seal on her chest with the glasses in it. The glasses inside of this royal seal. The one who see, the one who know, to magnify. Watch what she say.
Do we have to?
You know, they talk about how you have a free will and a choice to reincarnate. Let's talk about reincarnation. You know, the same thing Christ spoke about, reincarnation. That you must reincarnate to be born again. She represents this Christ being reincarnated. She represents the star seeds, as y'all want to call them, who has a choice of some, in her case, no choice to reincarnate for her mission, her goal, her task. It's important that I must point out that between them two is the sun. In between them two, just like the sun is over the earth, this illuminated sun. They didn't have to show the sun illuminated glowing, but it showed that this one being, the light bearer, the light, the sun, the green, the vegetation, the photosynthesis, the energy, the branches is connected. Notice how the branches connect to this glass, circular orb like earth. Double talk. This part is important because depending on how you interpret, I interpret this to identify with free will. She's going to ask Kirsch, this man, you'll find a little bit more about him. Are you going to kill it? He's going to say, do you want me to? She's gonna think about what he originally said, and she gonna nod her head no. Talking about free will, you have the free will to kill, you have the free will not to. And to identify the connection to the gods, or how also they listen to what she's saying. Listen. Are you gonna kill it? Do you want me to? Watch what she say. She look at it, and she gonna say, no. Here we go. Now remember, when they talked about who run Earth and the authority of what one have, who run Earth, they showed 333. Now they showing 333 again. Let's zoom in. 3 over here. 3 of them big wigs in the back room back there. And then the ones who's facilitating in this procedure. Now, only those in the higher mysteries who higher stand this number understand the deeper meaning. The mundane, y'all only see it from a Google standpoint, but things high up in the mysteries, you're not gonna really grasp it. But those who tapped in understand what this is decoding to, because this 333 is this girl whose consciousness is to reincarnate in the body, like into the avatar. It's called Mama Jamma. To show you that they talking about a melanated child, the code talking. He said I had a dream it was a pig. She said, yeah, I had a pig when I was a kid. Weighed 300 pounds. 3 again. He then showed the 3. He said, yeah, so more of a human child is what we want then. So, more. You understand that the word more represents the mores of, when we talk about the Moors who ruled for 400 years, we talk about a melanated person. Told you they know a lot more about what's happening on this planet and has happened and is about to happen. He actually brought something to my attention. So when they say, yeah, so more, but when you say so more, the S, connect the O to the O more. When you say O more, you say love. Amor. Amor. Amor, which means love in Spanish. The S, love. Yeah. Double talk. Yeah. The, yeah, as in Y-E-A-H. Yeah. S. More. The S, love of a human child is what we want then. Because they talked about Superman, this S-man is to talk about the code of this S, this Amor. The doctor chick gonna say, we'll talk about this some other time, right? Pretty much we talk about this thing. And then she gonna say, these are our children. Just to identify when it says, we created them of our likeness and our image. The sons of God, which is the sons of the Netter. These are our children. See? You know, they show it the ancient Egyptian times when they showed them of their heads being bald head. They don't need hair. Because back then when they had hair, they had lights. And they had the sun beaming on their head. They would burn up. They would heat up their head. That's why a lot of them wore wigs. They don't show the wigs that many Egyptians wore. When you see they braided, those are wigs they place on their head, but they don't talk about that. It just dawned on me. Those look like the constellations on her shirt. Those are the constellations on her shirt, the sky. Once it say, these are our children, it dripped off her to her outfit, which is the constellation. Star seed, star children, like ice, right? And then they show the body in which her soul, her ka, will float in. this technology out. They showing you they already got it. It's already out. Yeah, it's a lot of jewels. You got to really catch these jewels being dropped. And this one after they say not focus. Because it's talking about one. It's going to show her representing him. See, that's why she is representative of the one in which they're referring to. Bald head likes the one we bald head, right? This one is going to lay down. And let's talk about now the focus. You're going to see her lay down across from this woman here. Because we talking about one having the ability to listen. Now, this is the prodigy. This is his company and whatnot. He gonna ask this child, do you know who Neil Armstrong was? The code is who. And the word that is given is Neo. Y'all know who Neo is. Neo from the Matrix. Do you know who Neil Armstrong was? You see how they double talk. The 3 and 1. Neo and this arm, the one who is strong, having the ability to use it. Man, listen, it's a cold memory gem, but you gotta catch them. You gotta catch the jewels. This is how heavy the codes is. Watch what he do. His eyes gesture when he say, do you know who Neil Armstrong was? Look, he gonna look at the woman. He gonna look at her, the woman on the left, and then he gonna look at the child to identify what we referring to. Double talking, we talking about the girl. She don't know it. She don't know the code to do it right. Let's go. This is for education purposes.
Do you know who Neil Armstrong was?
Did you see that? Why would he pose the question to the girl and then look at the scientist nurse? And then they show you the giveaway. Do you know who Neil Armstrong was? And then they show the number 13. The body of the woman in which this child consciousness soul is going to go into. Because the Neil Armstrong is her. She is the one they're referring to. The one in the 3 is 13. It's 13-1. It's chosen. You know, when they say Yahuwah, because who is the ancient name for this one? Who is the name of a nature? And then she gonna say, he's an astronaut. Then he gonna say, not just an astronaut. He say he was the first one to set foot on the moon. See, he gonna say not just that, but you're going to be the first to. Something never done before. A gift and ability to be able to transcend dimensionally, to astro project, telekinesis, telepathy, and all clears open. This gift and ability. This is why they show them on the table to identify. The table is not just the table, it's to show the connection that one having the ability to connect with his tribe, to connect with ones of his like minds, no matter where one is. See, that's why they laying down. He laying down, she is really he. Because the code is going to be giving you to find a lot more about what this bald head, who this bald head person is, and how it's connection to something on the zodiac. Let's go. And then he said, I'm going to the moon. He's going to say, no, silly. You're going to be the first person to transition. You know when they say a person done ascended and transition, talk about one consciousness, but it's double talking. Transition from a human body. What he going to say? To a what? To a synthetic body. And then she gonna say, because I'm special.
Very special.
see, notice the connection to her and him. Bald head just like him. But he's one of the either the great fathers, whole talking, in which who she come from. You know, like Superman said, Superman father said, I bequeath you, my son. The father would be the son, and the son, the father. Then he's gonna say, you're very, very special. To show just how special gifts and abilities that's imparted within this child to come to earth to make a difference. Alien Earth. So this is the giveaway. After you say you're very, very special, you're gonna say, do you want to see a magic trick? Because we talk about this 13 again. We're talking about someone who seemed like a magician. You know, my gifts and abilities seem like a magician, but it's nothing magician. A magician wants to do tricks. It's just a gift and ability that's within me. Cold talking. So they talk about what this child is able to do in these realms, in the physical and the metaphysical. This person being gifted. Boy, this movie's a cold memory gem. Y'all know I be loving it when they be dropping them heavy codes. He said, you want to see a trick? And he stepped back and he snapped his finger, and the upper part moves like into an eye. It moves, and then it showed images of the kids from Peter Pan floating overhead. Remember I was telling you Peter Pan represents flying from the dead, flying at night, using his gift and his ability, sprinkling fairy dust, Peter Pan dust, or whatever, on them, and other ones flying from their bed. Check it out. I can't make this up. Right up, I ain't making this up. It's right here. Look. Look. And then they show this child. Man, I can't make this up. If you only knew. It's just not knowing a lot of people. But those in the collective who tap in and understand what's being said. See? There we go. There go Peter Pan. Boy, that's for cold memory gems. Yeah, but you know, like I said, we're not the only person, people, things, forces on this planet. The forces and the galactic forces and other beings that's on this planet look just like you and me, but they orchestrated things behind the scene. Hollywood, movies, HBO, Cinemax, you name it. These divine forces control all that. And it's talking about one's gift and ability. Yeah. I choose not to wear hair. I choose to have my hair, no hair. I choose that ancient look. Golden, circular, bald head, clean. Babyface Nelson. It's your Peter Pan. You get it. He's gonna say, I want my brother. He's gonna say, he can't see me. The doctor gonna say. She gonna say, he can't see me because it's secret what we're doing. The doctor said yes. And over the head is the umbrella, cause all those fall up under this one umbrella. See, here go. This is where the work happens. See, the cross in between them two, they show the plus symbol is also the cross. One crossing over. It is the reason why Illuminati, the speaks about the neural link. When we talk about the link connection, you see, Peter Pan is still floating overhead, right up top. Look at that. You see, and the little girl name is Marcy. She's gonna say it's time to go to sleep because in Marcy name is code for Mary, M-A-R-Y. The C is in the middle. The C represents the Christ, the child, the reincarnation, the rose that's on the child chest. That you gotta watch, man. If you haven't seen Alien Earth, go download Disney Plus, start watching. I'm not going to show you all of it. I'm going to show you and decode what's meant for you to see. She has the eye showing up. You see, the darkness to light, the black and gold, with the circle of this to identify with the eye. But the Marcy represent the Mars, M-A-R represent Mars, but it's also coded for the ram. M-A-R is also O-R-A-M, which represents the ram of Amen. Amen being the hidden one. It depict him as having rams over his head, horns on his head. Marcy being able to see, you see, is the reason why they have her eyes showing with the eyes showing on the scientist, nurse, doctor ear. The eye, then the eye in the ear, the one who can see and hear and comprehend and see things deeper. You see the roles that she placed on this one chest. This is how cold this series is. Her name is Marcy. The body which she moving in on floating is called Wendy. You get it? Wendy. You'll notice that in Wendy name is Wednesday. Yeah, it's code for Wednesday. In American Gods is, if you watch American God, that's another code, man. I watched that so much, it was so deep. The gods explained me much more of that. Wednesday is what day of the week. Wednesday represents 3. You see? The third letter is D. D, which identify with Wednesday, will represent 3. You see? And inside of Wednesday is the N, E-N-D. I ain't got to explain that to you, but you get it. Wendy. Let's go. It was also brought to my attention that in front of the letter D, N-E-W says new. New way, a new world, new order. The new. All this come from the ancient God, Anu, who said this in order, dealing with Enki, Enlil, and Anu, where you get the Anunnaki from, where you get Anubis from the 3 letters of Anu. Here we go. Boy, they some cold memory jammers. They be seeing and knowing too much. Yeah. The rose represents something. And one laying down doing the work is holding that which is in one left hand, when it shows the pharaohs, whatchamacallit, being erect, palace being erect. You gotta ask yourself, why would a rose need to be in her hand, which to identify with one hand? And it forms a M, from lightness to dark. Their whole symbol, or her holding their hand, that's an M. Power of change. The transition. Remember I told you M represents change. You're talking about something new. A new order, a new change. This one being the change. Here's when it gets deep. Where they code a little bit more deeper. When they show the girl transitioning into the body of who she called Wendy. It's going to show Wendy dreaming, which is Marcy, dreaming about her brother, because the two represent one. You're going to notice that Wendy and who her brother name is, I ain't gonna give it away yet till we get there, is to identify with the constellation, the zodiac sign of Virgo, male and female. You see, she wants her brother because the two represents the one. In the zodiac, the Virgo is identified with male and female. The Cupid light, male and female, the masculine and the feminine. This is why they code in this dealing with the Virgo signs to identify whom they refer to. What gives this his way is her brother name. Go watch. Go watch Alien Earth. Her brother name is what? And then they show, or the sound of seagulls in the background. Go watch my story time, me talking on how I had the ability to speak to birds, and when I made that one call to seagulls, 20, 30, 40 seagulls start flying over the wall and into the field and filled the whole field up and stayed all winter and summer. Now, this part I'll probably mute when you have to read it. She's going to say the body is a vessel for the mind. And look, a human mind. But listen, what you didn't catch was, go back. It says the body is the vessel for the mind, a human mind. And then they show in the background, it's going to say prodigy. You know how they show them old Build-A-Birds? Build-A-Bird? Those teddy bears? But it's going to show the emblem, the name, I should say, not emblem, the name of this corporation is to identify in who this person is, being a prodigy. And this float, you're going to see prodigy show up in the back. It's on the screen. They're showing this for a reason. The light of this one, the luminosity of this light bearer. There you go. R-O-D-G-Y. Prodigy Corps. Look, the nurse on the right is going to say, I have good news for you. The children have arrived. Wendy's going to say, I'm not alone anymore. Remember I was telling you about the word alone and being alone. But to code talk about the collective coming together, working together. And they form this tri-formation in the midst of them three talking. Any more. It's more again. Remember what Superman father said when he was holding up the crystal, the green crystal, and he held it up? He said, the mother said, he'll be alone. The father held up the crystal, he says, he will not be alone. He will never be alone. She says, darling, nurse chick on the left, scientist chick on the left. Say, you're never alone, with the word prodigy in the background. She's gonna say, no, you're not alone. You have us. Meaning them two. You're gonna say, yeah, the children. She's gonna say, when are you gonna say, but yes? She's gonna say, but yes. Now, there will be others. Check it out. Listen. Check it out. You can't listen. Like me. You're gonna say, not yet. They don't go through the transition to be like Wendy. It's to identify on the higher metaphysical spiritual plane is that her gift and her ability as a prodigy, being able to help that tribe of his, hers, theirs, to transition to be like her, because she's the first prodigy. So it's Cole talking on how this prodigy or this chosen one having the ability to anoint and help them to be like her. Listen what the scientists say. It's Cole talk. They're still children. Someone needs to help them to make the transition. And then she leaned in towards Wendy. You get it? This part is important because Wendy gonna say, they walk down towards her, and she's pretty much, as she say, the heads, the wigs gonna say, can you be a big sister? To identify with her leadership, to identify this her tribe. You understand? And they show Wendy likened to the luminosity of this Christ. You see? The anointed one, the light, the luminosity of this one, and helping them to make the transition and help them to grow into being like her. Notice they showed the branches, they showed the greenery of the scorpion inside of the earth-like orb glass. And I told you that the branches identify with the connections, you see, that feeds in photosynthesis, the light. This is why the light is around those leaves and those greenery, to identify that they receiving a light and a luminosity from this Christ-like light bearer, this person here. It's all cold talk. Who wants a ride? To identify, it's no force. But when they go to the who, that the who gods, Yahuwah is the word who, derivative of I am who I am. This one who is placed in charge. The light and luminosity of this one filter into these chosen ones to be transitioned. They asked her, are you sick? Were you sick too? She said, yes, sick and even dying. Until the boy genius came along. This one in a lifetime serendipity is double talk. One having the gift and ability, who's tapped in, who's able to do this higher work from the gods, through the gods, by the gods. You see? Because why would a boy be in charge, think about it, of Earth? Why would a boy be in charge when we know that galactic forces are not boys? We talk about ancient beings who live 300, 400, 500, beyond any time that we can calculate. You know, it's endless. Because their rule, their spirit is not rule spirit, it's just energy, it's outside of our mental conception to be able to conceptualize what is. To identify that the boy and the girl is one and the same, the two being one. We talk about this Virgo is the connection to the boy, it's her brother. Yo, which really dawned on me, caught my attention, the guys brought to my attention that in that movie that was out about that spaceship, what is it called? To watch on my channel on By.DaRon.Ashley on TikTok, where I do the breakdown of the movie Nope. Break it down, Nope. This is part 2. Listen.
Of Prince with the song playing in the background of Stevie Wonder. Boy Genius. Now, Jordan Peele, he placed these imageries, these signs, and all this for a reason. Now,
Boy Genius, right? Now, Jordan Peele speaks about Boy Genius coded in the background with the Prince symbol showing in the movie. Cause that's the shirt she wearing, and Boy Jesus playing in the background.
that song, Boy Genius is playing, and she's showing these symbolism. There's a lamp illuminated in the back, another light illuminated lamp in the back, and then it shows, after it showed that imagery of Prince, it shows OJ.
They show the boy Genius, Cody, the show Prince, the face of Prince, to show the name of this person by putting the face of Prince, because Amir means Prince / leader. I can't make this up. Go back to Wendy, where Wendy say, but then the boy Genius came along. Jordan Peele talk about the boy Genius in the song Decoded by Stevie Wonder. Then she talk about the boy Genius. Then they cold talk show you who the boy Genius is. Wendy being coded for somebody, and this boy Genius, and they show the portal being opened, the spacecraft like portal of the that contraption that opened up that showed Peter Pan float up top. By the way, this is supposed to be the boy Genius. Now the code's gonna get deeper. They're gonna show her brother here. The water in the boat. You see, the water in the background identified with Pisces, but it's the connection of Pisces and Virgo. The cross sign, the 12 and the 6. You see, he has the N on this shirt, which is, N is the 14th letter in the alphabet, which is 1 and 4. The 7 and 7 pies. 7 and 7 being the 14, going back to this Christ, the 14th star. You see, what gives it away is, check it out. I'm gonna have to remove the audio, but you got to read it. You see, now they're gonna show him in the boat, because guess whose brother that is? This boy is Wendy's brother. They show the connection of them two because we talk about the Virgo. Yeah, we talking about the Virgo, her and him. And then they're gonna go to her swinging and dancing. They're gonna say, yeah, Devon, I am the boy like Devon. See, if you remember, I can't remember it on the tip of my tongue. It was a movie out where they was talking about 51. And the coded message of 51 floating in the background gave a subliminal message to him to pick the number 51. Okay? It's double talk. Now watch what they do. They're going to show her afterwards, after they show him. Look, I am the dude like Davon. And then they show her swinging there. Double talk, because she is really he. Because they just left from showing him in the water, in the boat. This is going to show, it's going to show her powers and her connection to him, because the 2 represents the 1, Virgo. And the reason why they have a gold in is to show the coded message for gold in. Get it? Golden. And the color of the N is gold, and then the color blue. Golden. As if likened to the golden child. But when you see the N, it's this correlation, this connection to the golden one. The 1 and the 4. Because 14 is 1 is A, and 4 is D. You get it? Alright, now here's when it get deep. You're going to see her swinging, looking at a screen that says 13. Those 3 on the right, 1 in the middle. It's going to show her powers and her abilities to be able to do things that they're going to find unusual, because they didn't think that she can do all this in a synthetic body. She's able to Telepathically is what is called to touch and make things manifest by her thought process. Watch what she do. Fan, listen, she said her brother's like a medic. Joe, her brother's like a medic, like a doctor. Remember I told you the numbers outside pertaining to the movie Venom, and the number outside his room was 1403, which says a doc. And she says her brother's like a doctor, because a doctor is being able to dissect, analyze, process, amongst other things dealing with the metaphysical, hermetic realm, things dealing with the medical aspect. And watch what she do though. You see, just using her mind, she's able to, she's aware, she don't doubt it, but the kids they're not able to do what she can do yet. To her brother, listen. She's touching the screen, something that they're not able to do, but she's able to do. Look at the connection between her and her brother. That's Virgo. That's the Virgo sign. Masculine and feminine. This is why they show the strong connection to the brother. Look, this is the scene. It's showing that all eyes is on, always watching this person. They always watching, paying attention and studying what I do, how I do what I do. But he's going to be amazed at what he's going to see she's able to do. Look. Look. She's watching him again. They showing this to show that's him over there on the screen there. She watching him on the screen. How the three is one. And there's an image of her back when they was younger. Something to that extent. And he come in the house, but she's watching him. And showing this strong connection to the two being one. Her connection to him. Because in these realms, in these dimensions, this person has the ability to connect to his tribe telepathically, and pretty much showing what one is able to do. She's watching him, she's saying, there you are. She said, I miss eating because due to her new body, she lived long, she can't die, and she have abilities. She miss him, she says. And then she grabbed his picture of her brother and her father. And her father only had one eye, like a pirate. She's stalking, she's watching him. And this is showing her connection with her brother when she had hair, right? But her father has one eye to identify, look at that 13 again, the girl above the boy. But to show her relationship to them being connected to Virgo, the eye represents the all-seeing eye, but the third eye, the pineals, to identify with how the father is connected in that way. The eye covered up is to show one, hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil, that way. And you see the color, black and gold. Ironically, the frame is the same frame that we have from our father, who passed on, who ascended, I should say. And the color frame we have is black and gold. Here's the giveaway that I want to tell you. This her brother. The name tag that he have on him has the name Hermit. You know what a hermit is? Hermit is the name for that Virgo card, the one holding the lantern, the lamp, which is confirm her and him being dealing with the Virgo sign. Remember, she said her brother is a doctor and a very good one. Here we go, and it's showing Hermit assisting the wounded now. What is the Hermit card? You know who the Hermit is? The Hermit. The Hermit is the ninth trump, or the major arcana card. In most traditional tarot decks, it's used in game playing. It's an earth element, which identify with the earth sign to show you their connection, the masculine and the feminine. We gonna stop here. Y'all better go watch Alien Earth. It's 3 episodes, but it's gonna get deep down the line, I'm sure.